Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you're listening to a special edition of our Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you and sponsored by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are live at Noah Homes' annual Summerfest, 40 years of exceptional care at Noah Homes. I'm joined and honored to be joined by my co-host, Alexis Parker. How you doing, Alexis?
Doing great. Having a good time out here interviewing
Enjoying
everybody.
these interviews out here.
Yes.
Doing great. Jennifer Goulet, she is a board member of Noah's Archangel Foundation. How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me.
us. And Tom Finch, a board member for Noah Homes. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. We'll start with you on this one, Jennifer, and then we'll pivot over to you, Tom, before Alexis gets into the questioning. So, Jennifer, how did you first find out about Noah Homes?
Well, kind of interesting. My brother is actually got about a 32-year resident here at Noah Homes. So actually it was through him. He is deaf, mute, and autistic.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's one of the oldest autistics to ever be diagnosed here in San Diego.
Oh, is that right?
It is, yeah.
Right. And so how was that? And is he older, younger than you?
He's older than me.
Okay, right. And so when you first found out about this and your parents said, there's some things with your older brother, what was your first reaction? How'd you deal with that?
You know, my brother and I are extremely close. We're 16 months apart, and growing up so close together, I really didn't know that there was anything unusual, if that makes sense.
Right.
He was born. Yeah, he was born at a time that there wasn't early intervention that there is today. And so my parents did a lot of different things in order to try to accommodate him.
Right.
But funny enough, he didn't learn how to sign or anything like that because all of his needs were met.
Right.
So he knows some signs here and there. And then my sister had come along 7 years later, and it was at that point my mom thought I wasn't able to handle, all three. And so it was a week before she was born, he was placed, I believe it was Camarillo State Hospital. So he went to their Riverside School for the Deaf, and he wasn't a happy camper. But boy, when he landed in these grounds, he knew immediately, and without being someone he's nonverbal, he made it known that this is my home.
Wow. Is that heartwarming or not? That's a phenomenal story. Tom, how about you? How'd you find out about Noah Homes?
Well, funny enough, I've driven by Noah Homes for over 20 years. I live up the road from here. So on my way to work, on my way to wherever I'm going, I drove by Noah Homes. So I'd always see, for many, many of those years, there was a big arc down at the wooden arc down at the bottom of the hill. So I knew of it then, and then I was asked by a friend of mine. They were building the memory care facility up here on the hill, and they had asked, I'm in the, in construction industry. So he had asked me if I would talk to Molly about, partaking in that and just giving guidance and anything I could do to help with, building a memory care facility. So, and then that just ended up rolling into the board. So
that's great for your work on that there. I think you know a little bit about building some of these memory care things, don't you, Alexis?
I do, and it's great to see you again, Tom, and it was a special thing to be able to work with you and create these beautiful memory care homes. So great connection and we both got sucked into the board, didn't we?
We did at the same time.
But it's a good thing.
Yes,
it's really
absolutely.
a good thing.
Definitely is.
So what makes a community or a place like Noah Homes so special?
I think that's just it, is community. So many other homes that take care of our individuals with disabilities, they don't have community. They're in a house in a neighborhood, but here, this is their home, and they get to come and do great stuff right here in our community center. They get to do all kinds of activities throughout the day, field trips, and it's just I mean, they're like brothers and sisters to themselves, amongst themselves.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Everybody we've talked to so far today has said, yeah, it's like, we took care of them when they were younger, but they found a place for themselves where they have like folks just like them, and they can communicate better with them, and they feel like they're in a group. I mean, everybody needs their people.
Yeah.
So it's really great to have it found here at Noah Homes.
Yeah, and I've talked to parents that, are so hesitant to take their child out of their home and have them go somewhere else. And, I've heard countless stories just of parents that have said, within the first month, their child no longer wanted to come home anymore. They wanted to stay here because they loved their new home so much. So that's a success story right there.
Absolutely. That's the reputation that Noah Homes has, and that they're trying to project across the country for everybody with special needs, to get a family home situation where they feel loved and needed and belonged.
Sure.
So, Jennifer, tell us a little bit. I'm sure you can answer this in about 4 hours, but unfortunately, we don't have that. But tell us about a time when you felt so proud to be part of Noah Homes.
Oh,
Probably every day.
Yes, it's exactly true. I'm glad that you brought up the memory care homes, because I think that is a beacon for this community, because there were and are a lot of the folks here who have outlived their folks, so to speak. And they didn't have a secure place to go. And so their family members here mourned them. They couldn't go and visit them and support them. And so to have you, Alexis and Tom, for what we did for those memory care facilities and for those to be studied, I think that's a really incredible thing, that they're studied nationwide because it's state of the art. And to be able to give them such dignity towards the end of their life, it's phenomenal.
No, that's terrific. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to a special edition of Spotlight on the Community, brought to you and sponsored by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are live at Noah Homes' annual Summerfest, celebrating 40 years of exceptional care at Noah Homes. Alexis?
Well, what would you all suggest that people that are listening to this podcast can do to help the special needs folks, their families, the communities, help broaden the awareness and that. Talk to their congresspeople, talk to their friends. Take a tour. That's one of the best things, like you said. Take a tour here at Noah Homes just to see how special it is. Can you add anything else? Tom, you're in a business, and you as well, Jennifer,
I think for me, not growing up like Jennifer did with a family member.
Yes.
I think what was really eye-opening to me was just getting to meet some of the folks here.
Yes.
And to understand, the amount of love that they, put out there. And I just think that if everybody gets to experience, a place like Noah Homes, I think they'll just, they'll have a better understanding of people that do have disabilities, and they'll see life differently. They'll see life through I don't want to say childlike, but yes, a little bit.
Absolutely.
And my wife would always tell me, if everybody was as happy as everybody at Noah Homes, what a wonderful world we'd live in.
I think you hit the nail on the head there when we've said this in some of the other podcasts, and the families have said it as well, is that there's never not a smile on these folks' faces, and it's catching. And Drew and I were greeted this morning with some, with, I forget his name, but just, oh, hi, welcome to Noah Homes, hand outstretched, and so proud of where they are and how they're living their lives and that. And like I said, the smiles here are just enchanting.
Well, you're spot on, Tom. And if you think about this, and I know you feel this way too, Jennifer, if we could take this, photocopy it, and spread it across the world, okay, instantly there'll be a hip to hop to 8 billion people's step. I'll tell you that right now. in that area. But Jennifer, let me ask you this, what can people do? What are the challenges currently impacting this community as a whole? And almost at what Tom was saying too, and with those specific challenges, if indeed there are, what our listeners can do to support those.
Funding is always the biggest thing.
Right.
Yeah, it really is. And I think if people aren't aware of the need, it's unfortunate that we have almost over 200 people on our waiting list, and that we can't serve people. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to serve.
Right.
We want to keep this area and community and family to the 90 residents that we have here, because we want to make sure that our excellence in care is 100% quality every day. And that's a tribute to the staff that serve this community. I mean, they're just really amazing, no problem attitude, and serve them with what their needs and likes are first. So that's the biggest thing is funding.
Right, and I think what goes with it, and you both were alluding to this, is letting people know and being aware of this thing.
I agree.
Alexis and I talk about this all the time, is that you just cannot shout this out enough. You got to do it 365, 724, and I don't care how many people get tired of hearing it. You have to do that, and it's so critical. You just never know who's going to be listening, whose friend is going to be listening, whose friend's uncle's friend's daughter's aunt's veterinarian, or whatever the case may be, will be doing that. Alexis?
Well, and like Colin, who had an older brother, I believe, that was...
he was the young one.
Yeah. So Colin was the young one, and he had an older brother who had special needs. And he said that his older brother opened his eyes, and he listened to him, and they became good buddies. And Colin, in turn, introduced all of his friends to his older brother, so they became aware of what it's like to have a special needs relative or to live with one in that. And they, in turn, learned about the giving nature and, how they could live life better through being friends with somebody like a special needs person and that, and how they view life and have that everlasting smile on their face when they're here at Noah Homes.
Yeah, that's great. Tom, any final comments?
You know what? Just I would just say, come find us. We're not hard to find, but we have opportunities. And, even if it's a first step come to Enchanted Village, at Christmas time and see the beautiful lights and just experience the campus in its beauty. And that's a great way to start. And then there's plenty of opportunities. If somebody wants to volunteer to help at that event or at other events or to help around the grounds. I mean, we're always looking for anybody, that has a good, strong back to help too. So
that's very good. Yeah, listen, I'm good. I'm a good pack mule. That's about all I can do these days, and all that in that aspect. Jennifer, any final comments?
Yes, I would also echo what you said, Tom. Come give your time and discover the talents and the treasures that already exist here, and you'll fall in love with the people. And I like what you also said, Alexis, because if people haven't been touched by the community of special needs, you really don't know.
You don't know how special they can be.
I agree, yeah. And what kind of life they love living here so much. Right. And they really make it known that this is my forever home.
Right, so here you go, listeners. You've been given an open invitation to come and visit at any time this beautiful place. Tom Finch and Jennifer Goulet, thank you so much for what you do to support this population, support Noah Homes, and we really appreciate you giving us some time to be on the podcast.
Yeah, it's really our pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's our pleasure. You've been listening to a special edition of Spotlight on the Community Show. I'm Drew Schlosberg. It is brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. It's been doing great things in San Diego for more than 60 years. We are at Noah Homes' annual Summerfest, celebrating 40 years of exceptional care at Noah Homes. Hope you enjoyed the podcast.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.